Welcome back to Tools and Track, weary traveller. Come in, take the weight off, have a seat. Seats. Obviously now covered because there's plenty of cutting and grinding still going on, but how many times do I say this? I appear to have introduced some problems simply by fitting the things I designed. That problem is the seats, they're quite close to here, aren't they? That is probably going to be a problem for this because the sides cup. Not sure how I'm going to resolve this yet, but I'm going to have to resolve it, but I'm not sure how, but I'll have to. Anyway, right, the seats are on. What's next on the list? Well, not this, because that's done. Why is that still here? Good question. Well, despite the fact that we've got the battery mounted down there, and it's a nice little holder, we still need to work out how it's going to power all of this. We've made a crucial difference here. This battery was going to live next to the engine, which was fine because it would mean no terminations. The problem is, now that the battery is mounted inboard in the car, we need to transit block through. Now that's not a big deal. Normally you just drill a hole, put a grommet around it and run the cable through. But, well, I want to be a bit more fancy. I fancy having some way of isolating this car so that it doesn't just drain battery all the time. Said that last time. So I want to put an isolator here. The good part of that is I just need to run one big thick lead up to the isolator and then that isolates. But from the isolator we'll need to go every other cable. Now that means everything that's on here needs to live in here. Or does it? No, not everything, because I've actually got two big cables that run from this, one to the starter and one to the alternator. That's it. Every other cable that's in here actually splices inside the car and runs through that big transit block. Remember, I wasn't really that keen on that transit block running big, thick lives. So we can actually separate that now because my big, thick live from this isolator that will be under here can go straight to the keys. So that's a whole lot more loom summarized as well. And it means that all of the kicker live stuff that has to go inside the car to the keys stays inside the car directly from the battery. So, let's make that and obviously make it look neat. So there's one bit of fluids that I still need to put in the car. I don't know why I've been putting it off, but probably because I've forgotten. Anyway, coolant needs to go in, and I've obviously terminated more or less all of the package for making coolant. With the exception, well, I say exception, it is terminated, but I've just looped the heater thing here. Anyway, I'm going to stick coolant in because we want to run this for more than 30 seconds. Bets on it not leaking. 3, 2, 1, go. And that more or less concludes the things that were preventing us putting on the nose cone. So understandably, the fan wiring still needs to be kind of terminated up. So we'll cable tie this and then we'll just run that up to become part of this loom stuff. But it'll go through the transit block with everything else and we'll get the relays and all that in that, because now that I think about it, I don't fancy having a fuse in a relay that's just out the way and a pain in the arse to deal with. So let's keep all that stuff in there. It doesn't actually draw a lot of current either. Like, I'm comparing this to like a 30 amp or whatever it was in an MX5, but this is only an 80 watt amp and the current draws only like 5 or 10 amps or something ridiculous, so it can live in there with little consequence to anything else. Let's deal with the nose cone for the last time. There's all the bits that I said I needed at the start of the episode. Do you ever notice in the 80s when folk are doing scenes, they run out of budget, so the same camera footage would be used over and over again for no reason at all? I remember those days. Behold, a key, an isolatable device to cut the battery off. Now, this might seem all safety and fancy and crucially be another way to isolate the vehicle, but it's presented itself with some issues. Now, previously, as you can see, we had all of the lives going straight from the battery to various places. That means into the car to power everything, down to the alternator and down to the starter motor. So that's 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So now we need to relocate these to the other post in here. Simple, except it's not. So to explain, because this is obviously a terrible drawing as usual, alternator, starter motor, ECU, battery here, everything earthed where they need to be, and there is no shut off here at all. So if I was to put a switch here, that will cut everything off from the battery. So if I have a situation where the car needs to be isolated because nobody can get to this, don't know why, that could be pulled and be used as a safety device. Common sense. Except it can't. Now, I don't know how the MX-5 engine works with regards to an ECU. The two wires that run to the alternator might deal with this on my behalf, but what can happen in instances where you put your safety device to isolate here, you remove the battery in its entirety, but the engine is still on. Now, if the engine's still on, it's still turning the alternator. So if the alternator's still running, it's still putting 12 volts out to the ECU. So you've just isolated the battery, but the engine still has all the volts it needs to keep going. So if there's no way to detect the battery's isolated, that might not actually turn the engine off. Now that's a problem, and there is a way to solve that, and that is if I put my isolator here. Now, what will happen with that is the charge circuit will still go to the positive side of the battery like it should. However, if I was to split here and isolate, I've isolated everything else, which, let's be honest, in kit car world, everything is going to be a current draw and cause the battery to go flat, but also everything that needs to shut the engine off if you're going to use it for a safety device. The only thing that's left going to the battery is the alternator, which, if the battery's off and the alternator's off, the alternator will turn off because it's not getting a signal to run from the ECU. That is the correct way to split it. I would also need to put a fuse in here. So we'd need to put the line for the alternator between the switch and the 100 amp fuse that we've just plumbed in, but that would work. So am I going to do that? Maybe, because what I will need to do is suss out if the ECU would kill it if it loses 12 volts. If it doesn't, we need to do it like that. If it does, don't worry about it. We just put the switch here and everything's fine. One to remember. So how many people have seen this little guy kicking about close to the center console for a few episodes now? That is the CV gator for the incorrect CV joints. I don't know why, I must not have remembered to send it back. Oh well. Anyway, so that, funnily enough, is the correct size for this little bit to catch on the gear shifter. And wouldn't you know it, it's going to make a great little boot for keeping water in and out of places and stuff. So what I'm going to do is find a way to attach it to the car without it, you know, just needing to be glued. Quick search online, and I found some ducting coupler thing that happens to be exactly the right diameter with a flare on it, and that's going to be the basis for some funk. Right, so that's a solution. As you can see, my wee lip lives under here and looks great and has the wee base that you'll barely see, and we'll either bond or rivet that on. But apparently, no, because...
Can't believe you've not welded that the whole way around.
I've actually spot welded it all the way around. Allow me to just whip this off and demonstrate. This is when the welds fail, because there's not enough welds in it. Sharp. But like you can see it here, right? It's got spot welds.
No, show them. Show them the welding.
Why are you so...
And why I'm not happy with it.
Like, it's HVAC tube, right? It's not welding well, but I thought, well, there's enough spot welds around it to hold it. And you're never going to see it. But
try harder.
This is what I'm up against. Nobody's going to know.
You'll know.
I won't care.
I'll know.
Right, so what have I to do?
Weld it properly.
But it is welded, it's not going to come off.
Try again.
limits of super steel. Get the idea. That is definitely, by this point, battery finished. So, still on the to-do list, we've got Scotland dash. That's gonna be the whole thing, because we need to do the dash with all the other loom dealt with, so we'll get that. Obviously loom, might break this out into a new list. In fact, I probably will. The only other thing here is bodywork, so final list? I keep saying final list. It's never a final list. Let's see what remains properly. Is it really just 3 things? Okay, hold on. Hold on. What I'd give to say this will just be 3 episodes is, you know, it's not going to be. So, Scotland dash, yep, whole thing. Loom, we're nearly there. We just need to tidy it and terminate it and make the rest of the MCAR stuff good. But massive, massive step. I also think I have said, we're not running lights and all that. I want to just make the loom to make it race, and then we'll add lights and all that later. And then body. We'll need to paint the bonnet, deal with the bonnet. Tell you what. Before we go, let's do the clamshell. I mean, I know we were going to have issues with the seats, and I wasn't expecting to fling that on and be like, hey, that just fits. But it somehow got worse. I don't know why. Well, I do. Like, this is why. So issue 1 is the complete lack of offset, but I mean, that's probably because it's in the air. I'm hoping when the wheels go on the floor, they go when they come out. But in other news, complete lack of cohesion with sitting in the middle of the arch, but that might also be due to the fact that it's not even sitting flush now. Why? What's this all about? Well, I mean, it could be because of the seat not letting it sit down, but it could also be because of this. I mean, what? I thought we dealt with that. What? Right, won't be the first time I probably had to take another notch out of this bloody exhaust, but, well, we'll be taking another notch out of the exhaust. That side doesn't seem as bad, but I don't know. Obviously there's more to be done. There's always more to be done. And in the next episode we'll look into sort of how, but for now, patreon.com/toolsandtrack, because it helps fund me and my stupidity and failure to do anything right. If you think that's a waste of money, I don't blame you. Just do the like, bell, subscribe thing though that you see at the bottom, and share. Show everyone else how much I can't finish a car. And until next weekend, guys, drive safe. My pen management is atrocious. Oh, go get a pen. It's not an episode if I don't write something on the board.